Hi guys, this video is going to be for my Sun, Moon, Rising Virgos for the month of July. We're going to be going over the transits, my intuitive messages, channeled messages, what I think you guys can expect to experience, feel, manifest, all that good stuff. So yeah, let's get to it. What you guys are currently looking at is the energy you guys can expect to be feeling walking into the month of July. So July 2nd, Neptune goes retrograde in your 7th house in Pisces. What do I think this means? I feel like you guys will be more in tune with people you guys are in committed relationships with. If you guys are not in committed relationships, then I think you guys are definitely daydreaming about them. But more so, I feel like this would manifest more so in the fact that you would be more in tune with what's really going on. Because I feel like with Neptune, it's either illusions or it's intuition. So here with Neptune being retrograde, things are slowing down. And this is a good thing for your intuition because it's like, this type of energy doesn't belong here on Earth. This is where things can get confusing. It's like, is it the gut really talking to us or is that our ego? So there's a clear difference, and a lot of us don't usually understand that. We usually just think it's, trust the gut, and that means something. So because Neptune has been in Pisces in your 7th house, there could have been illusions previously about people. So either about people you've already been committed to or people you've been talking to but haven't committed to just yet. And I think like what's influencing this even more so is Saturn being in your 7th house of partnerships and serious commitments. So this is also going in retrograde. So this is definitely going back to an old idea, going back to something you already thought of, and redoing something differently, okay? Because it's not a Mercury retrograde, but still it's going to have some of those same effects where we're going back to something, an old idea, an old, maybe it's somebody you've been with before, somebody you've already considered before, or maybe, for some of you, there was this illusion with the person you were with, and now it's like you're seeing things clearly. And that would be Neptune in retrograde. You see how that plays out? So Neptune sometimes can be illusion. It really depends on how it's talking to other personal planets in your natal chart. So yeah, I think you guys will definitely be more in tune when it comes to things of serious commitment with other people. That same day, July 2nd, Mercury in Cancer in your 11th house is trining Neptune in Pisces in your 7th house in retrograde. So around this time frame, you guys may get some, it's either contracts about property and committing to these things. And now it doesn't necessarily mean people you guys are romantically linked with. This could be a business partnership. We have Saturn. Saturn rules Capricorn traditionally. This could also just be something for fun that you guys are investing into. And the reason I'm saying that is because it's Capricorn. Capricorn rules Saturn. This can be romantically linked. We also have Cancer and Mercury, which makes me think of family and traveling back to family, traveling home, wherever home originally was, or maybe home. Maybe you guys were, I don't know, away from your own home, wherever you live currently, and you're going back. But there's something to do with traveling, and I feel like it's far distance away from where you guys currently live. Whatever this is about, there's something of value here. There's some type of blessing going on, and there's some type of intuitive insight when it comes to the future with this. Like you guys may be investing into something serious. It could be property, because Cancer, I think of property, and the fact that I'm thinking of Mercury with traveling, and Neptune, I'm thinking of far distance travels. So it may be something that like you won't see right away. So if it's like an investment, or if it's just buying property, maybe you won't actually get to live in that property just yet. Maybe you won't get to invest with this business partner or your romantic interest just yet, but you see this sometime in the future, because there's something very intuitive going on where it's like you guys are getting messages from above, something to that effect. So yeah, I think for some of you, it could definitely be talking about traveling closer to the water. All right, July 2nd, that same day, Mercury is leaving your 11th house in Cancer and is entering Leo in your 12th house. So yeah, this is definitely talking about traveling for a lot of you guys. I'm saying that because 12th house traditionally belongs to Pisces. And this is talking about far distance traveling, but instead we have Mercury here, which can speak of traveling still. If it's not traveling, then I'm going to say you guys may be having a lot of conversations with yourself at this time. I know that sounds silly, but I think we literally all do this. We just don't really think about it too much. But since Mercury will be transiting in the 12th house, I'm thinking about like your mind, the conscious meeting maybe the subconscious, something to that effect. But it's in Leo, which is interesting. So I feel like to some effect, it would take on some traits of the sun being in the 12th house. You guys may not be feeling super social around this time. You guys may want to isolate yourselves. And the reason I'm saying that is because the sun rules Leo. And I know that the sun will be entering Leo in your 12th house at some point in July. So yeah, definitely at that point, you guys may be more introverted. You may be more spiritual. You may feel like you need to do some healing, some type of work on yourself. There may be some clear insight in regards to your confidence and where you guys need more confidence, I would say, because Mercury at that point will be conjunct the sun. So your mind will be able to see more clearly when it comes to things that are normally hidden, things that are not so to the surface and visible. But once Mercury enters Leo in the very beginning in the 12th house, you may begin feeling like a shutdown, like when it comes to, I don't want to say a shutdown, but yeah, I would say no. I'm going to say it's definitely your thoughts are going to be more introverted. You're going to be going within. You may have a lot of psychological insights at this time, but they would be more linked to, I feel like, home. And I'm saying that because Sun will be in Cancer during this time. So therefore, it's like you may be having insights when it comes to how home life was for you growing up. Because Leo is looked at as the 5th house, the child, children. So you also could be thinking about having children at this time, or you may be thinking, for those of you who don't have children, why you don't have children. You may be thinking about wanting to be a mother, have a family, because the Sun and Venus being in Cancer, there's something there's something going on regarding the place of home and what it means to us as the collective during this time. So that same day, Venus in Cancer in your 11th house will be trining Saturn in Pisces. So to me, this is going to be some type of long-term investment. It's going to be a blessing. There's some type of investment with either, like I said before, property, or possibly the mother or family. And if it's none of these things, I would say that there is some type of love interest, and this person is deeply, takes on a lot of Cancer traits. So maybe they are very nurturing, and if they're not nurturing, because not all Cancers are nurturing, right? Then they may be very, they may have a lot of emotions. They may be very sensitive. And the reason I'm going to love at this point is because it's trining Saturn in your 7th house. So there is definitely some type of clear insight when it comes to your intuition and the place of home, and what do you need to make you feel emotionally secure at this time? What are you guys looking for? And it looks like there's something of commitment here. So I feel like your thoughts when Mercury goes into Leo in the 12th house is going to be talking about the things that may have gotten lost in the past when it comes to Pisces being in your 7th house. Talking about like maybe why relationships haven't worked out in the past for you guys, or maybe why you guys, whatever your situation is, like why you guys don't have children, or why you're currently thinking about children. Why have you not been in a committed relationship before? Or there's just something to this effect that your thoughts will be on how do you make your home a home with a family? So, and also something about your appearance, how you guys appear to the world when it comes to this, because your 4th house is in Sagittarius and the ruler of Sagittarius is in Jupiter. You guys have Jupiter transiting in your 10th house right now, and it's in Gemini. So there would be some type of insight at this time. You guys would be learning very much so, because Jupiter in Gemini is like, it needs to learn everything right now, about how you guys want to appear to the world and how you can make this a thing. I think this is also how you're gonna, what you're gonna be experiencing once Mercury goes into Leo in your 12th house, because Mercury rules Gemini. Definitely. Because again, Saturn rules Capricorn in your 5th house. There has been some type of delay when it comes to, if not having children, then I'm going to say just experiencing romance. There's something going on here. And because it's in a retrograde, you guys are going back. You guys are revisiting this. And you guys may feel you guys may just want to go for something at this time. You guys may want to express this, but have difficulty with this being in the 12th house, because this is, again, a hidden house. All right, so July 3rd, Mercury in Leo is in opposition to Pluto in Aquarius in your 6th house. So there's some type of power struggles. There's some type of power dynamics going on here when it comes to, I'm going to say, for some of you, this is going to be work related and communication. Something going on. Hold on one second. Uranus is in your 9th house and it's in Taurus. Okay. So for some of you, you guys are traveling for work. And for some reason, this is connecting to a strategy. I'm seeing Pallas Athena in retrograde and Scorpio in your 3rd house. This is talking about what will get you there when it comes to something that's on your mind. What's on your mind? Something regarding the place of home. So for some of you guys, you're traveling during this time. And when I'm thinking of Pallas Athena in retrograde and Scorpio, I'm thinking of like, it's kind of like Cancer energy, in the sense that when we're talking about the transit of Mercury, what emotionally fulfills you? So there's a light shining in a place that may have been hard to see, and you guys are trying to transform something about yourselves. There's some type of healing going on for some of you guys. And you guys may be healing through traveling or through higher learnings. Oh, I feel like I said that terrible. Because the 9th house is talking about a higher education. So some of you guys are like transforming your minds and like thinking from a higher perspective. And there's a strategy here, though. For some of you, it's talking about learning about your own mind and trying to transform it so you guys can get something you're looking for. And there will be some type of like recognizing this in the month of July, that something needs to change within you guys. Because with Pluto opposition Mercury, it's either you guys or other people, but there is this energy of trying to control other people, like trying to get them to agree with you, trying to get them to see things your way. And it's not like a 50-50, like let's compromise. It's not that. It is literally trying to just get them to see your perspective. So it's either, I feel like it's you guys trying to change your own perspective, but you may have difficulty with this because you guys may be trying to think about what's best for yourself at this time, Leo energy. And the fact that it's in the 12th, it's like there's some deep healing going on. But sometimes with the 12th house, it could bring out some other energies that kind of need a lot of work. And that we have a hard time seeing. So we think you're going to have difficulty with this until the sun enters your 12th house. So in the meantime, it's either going to be this manifest in a good way or difficult for you guys. I mean, oppositions work best when they come together. So there's something about transforming your mind to a higher perspective, because Uranus rules Aquarius and it's in your 9th house and it's in Taurus. So there's something about learning something. I think of the Hierophant when it comes to this energy, because the Hierophant in Tarot is Taurus, and at least in Tarot, it's considered to be divine knowledge. And this is what I'm picking up on for you guys, that you guys are trying to like tap into divine knowledge for your own mind to be like a better person. So maybe this looks like just trying to do better, make better choices. Especially with that North Node in the 8th house, you guys are being driven to understand your own shadow at this time. And you guys may have some difficulty with this because Mars rules Aries. So this can lead to arguments. You know, what's the typical Aries energy that everyone goes to? This can lead to arguments, competition. But the positive thing about this energy is that it can lead you to be more brave and have more courage and take risks in areas in your life that you need to, in order to, you know, not necessarily make waves, but to make something happen. Mars, which rules Aries, is all about action. And this is where your wound is right now in Chiron. So there's some type of difficulty, and it looks like the universe is trying to get you guys to move, because I keep getting moving, change. Okay, so July 5th, Mars in Taurus, sextile Saturn in Pisces. So Mars in Taurus in your 9th house is sextiling Saturn in Pisces in your 7th. So this is a positive transit. Otherwise, I would say Mars and Saturn talking to each other, this isn't the greatest. But there's some type of will to be driven when it comes to manifesting something. So Mars is looked at as the child in astrology, and Saturn is looked at as the father. So think of that type of rapport. Like, what do most people get out of that? It's usually discipline to do better in life, right? Generally, like speaking. So with a sextile, there is this energy that speaks of you have to put in the work in order to get something out of it that you want. But you have to do something. Otherwise, it's just an energy that sits there. So with Mars being in Taurus, there is this energy of feeling driven to either learn something, understand something, because I'm thinking of Sagittarius energy, because 9th house belongs to Sagittarius traditionally, but it's in Taurus. Mars is debilitated in Taurus. It's uncomfortable because Venus rules Taurus. Venus energy likes to be comfortable. It loves luxury. It just loves, If not luxury, it just likes to be comfortable. It doesn't want to be uncomfortable. And Mars is all about action. In order to manifest things for Mars, it has to move. So there's some type of requirement on your part to put in some type of work when it comes to relationships. Now, whether these are relationships of business or romantic, it's relationships of value, okay? It's relationships of investment that are long term. So you guys on that day will feel driven to do something, and it will affect you internally since Mars rules Aries, and Aries is in your 8th house, and you guys have your North Node here, so you guys are feeling driven. This may create some type of communication because Mars is the original ruler of Scorpio, and you guys have Pallas Athena here. So there's some type of strategy when it comes to communication or learning or your local community. Let's see, or resources. That's another thing I'm thinking of too. Resources with Scorpio energy. July 5th, new moon in Cancer. So there is a new moon in your 11th house. So something new will be manifesting either on the internet or with your group of friends or social networking. The 11th house can be looked at as your deepest dreams and desires. So you guys may be very in tune right now with all of those things, or maybe it's one of those things. It's going to manifest differently for all of you. I think there's a good chance that a lot of you would just intuitively be able to see clearly what emotionally fulfills you at home, because you guys are learning about this stuff because Jupiter is transiting in Gemini. Mercury rules Gemini. Again, this is in your 12th house right now, so there's some type of deep thought. There's some type of one-on-one conversations with yourself that you guys are having during this time. You guys are learning about what it is that makes you feel emotionally fulfilled at home. There's something about, yes, being freedom-oriented, but there's also something going on here about expanding a little bit further when it comes to Sagittarius in your fourth house. Also, for some of you, you guys may be moving, now that I'm thinking about it, with Jupiter and Gemini. Because Jupiter is the ruler of your 4th house and it's transiting in Gemini, yeah, definitely for some of you guys are moving. Or if you're not moving, you're definitely thinking about moving. And like I said before, definitely traveling right now in the month of July. Anyway, so the new moon will also manifest, I think, money for some of you guys. For those of you that are social networking, putting yourselves out there, or maybe you guys are entrepreneurs. With the 11th house, you can also gain resources this way as well. Some of you guys during the new moon in Cancer, there could be something again with family. But I'm getting more about like what it is you guys want with family, like how to make your home feel like family. Wait, did I say that right? Whatever. So yeah, we have the Sun and Venus here, which to me is talking about clear insight on your love language during this time, which is talking about your aesthetic appeal, you know, like what makes you, what do you want to wear? Is it the color blue? Cancer energy. You guys may want to be by the water during this time. There's just something about being in tune with your emotions, okay? And also another thing, I'm sorry, but like I'm thinking about the stellium in your 11th house, and I'm thinking how this traditionally belongs to Aquarius, right? And I think about how the 11th house is freedom oriented, and so is Sagittarius. So there's definitely something going on about the 4th house and being freedom oriented, but you guys still wanting to commit to something. And then, yeah, some of you guys are definitely investing in property that is not close to home. Okay, July 8th, Venus in Cancer in the 11th house is sextiling Uranus in Taurus in the 9th house. So me personally, I don't like this energy at all. The way it manifests in my life is something suddenly happening with finances. It's like an unexpected bill, or just something where all of a sudden, you know, there's like money that's due and it's just not expected. So when you think of Venus and Uranus talking to each other, think of a spark. Think of literally like electricity. So sometimes with a spark, that's literally it. It's gone, right? So it's kind of like getting that invoice or that bill, and okay, that's it. You hand over your money. There it is. It's gone. So for some of you, yes, this will definitely be talking about money, like having some type of random bill in regards to money. Venus in Cancer in the 11th house. I think of also something randomly happening. Excuse me. Something randomly happening when it comes to your group of friends and traveling. Like there's something here. Since it's talking to each other, not like in a harsh way, I'm thinking with Venus sextiling Uranus, this is coming together with the 11th house and the 9th house. Coming together and definitely spending money on something, because Taurus rules the second house traditionally. This is talking about your wallet. This is talking about the things you value, the things you own, and we're talking about Venus being in Cancer. So it's like you guys are spending on money with friends that emotionally fulfill you, but your money is definitely leaving your wallet, and it may be happening randomly. You may get like an intuitive download about somebody you guys are dating, because Venus rules romance, relationships, but I was going to go with Libra and Taurus. So this is ruling your second house and your 9th house. So you guys have the South Node here, and you guys have Uranus and Mars here. So yes, something suddenly happening. It could be something that is of discomfort with Mars being in the 9th house, and then especially with that South Node being in Libra, the things you guys value. I'm thinking this would be talking more in lines with something you learn, and maybe even having experience in, with the South Node being in Libra, because the South Node also speaks about what we have experience in, right? It's our resume, so to speak. So there's definitely something to this. Yeah. Okay, so where are we? Sorry. July 8th, that same day, Mercury in Leo in your 12th house is sextiling Jupiter in Gemini. So again, sextile is an energy you have to put work into, otherwise it'll just sit there and nothing will ever happen with it. So when I think of Jupiter being in Gemini, to me this is like this is like Jupiter talking to Mercury and blowing, like expanding. This is like whatever Jupiter touches, it expands upon. So if it's touching Mercury, then the mind is going to get bigger, is my point, because Mercury rules the mind, your thoughts and communication pattern. So if Jupiter is transiting in Gemini, it's like your mind will be really fat during this time. Like you will think way too highly of your own mind. You will think your thoughts are amazing. You're just going to be super confident with your with your mind, I want to say, your thoughts, your opinions, anything that's intellectual. And now it's sextiling. It's actually talking to Mercury, but in Leo. So it's almost like we have extra Mercury energy. So Jupiter's just, gaslighting it up, and Mercury's in Leo, which is already, it's fire. So it's just like, it's a lot. So people love confidence, but they don't like cockiness, right? So on that day, I would say just be mindful, because your mind will definitely have trouble with being mindful, because it will want to talk about the things it feels confident about, and the things it feels confident about, maybe things other people don't want to talk about. You may want to open up about emotions, okay? Because the sun rules Leo and it's in Cancer and it's in your 11th house. So you guys may want to talk about your emotions openly and express this on the internet, because this is in the 11th house. This may be talking in talks with like your new moon and this energy as well. Especially with Jupiter being in your 10th house in Gemini, this will definitely be visible. People will be able to see this and they will be talking about it. But this will be happening secretly behind your back. So just make sure that whatever you guys are expressing, it's not cocky. Just do yourself a favor. Don't do anything cocky. Confidence is different. And that would be my advice. July 9th, Pallas Athena goes direct in Scorpio. So in your 3rd house, conversations will be very transformative. They will be deep. They will be, I would say, if there was any paranoia before because Pallas Athena was in retrograde, now I think there would be more intuition talking to you guys through people's words. And I'm saying this because it's almost like you guys have Mercury in Pisces, with Mercury being in Leo. You guys are able to see through people's, BS. At least this is what I believe. This is how I see this transit. Especially with Neptune in retrograde in the 6th house. I mean, in the 7th house. More so with committed relationships. But Pallas Athena is going to be talking about a strategy. It could be a strategy as, wait, hold on. Mercury being in the 12th house talks about could talk about secrets, trying to investigate things that are hidden. And I'm saying this because it's connecting to your 8th and your 3rd house, because you guys have Pallas Athena. What is the strategy? You guys have Scorpio energy with a strategy. So I'm going to look to Mercury, because this is where your thoughts are, your mind is at. So of course your strategy is going to connect to whatever you guys are thinking about. So you guys will be thinking about your emotions, and it will be expressed on the internet, but you guys may be also doing some type of investigations online, because Jupiter in Gemini is the detective, okay? You may be doing this at home, but you guys would go public with something that you guys see clearly, because the sun is in Cancer. You guys are seeing something on the internet, and then with that North Node being in the 8th house in Aries, you guys are feeling driven through Scorpio-like things. So trying to figure out what you guys consider to be a mystery, trying to figure out, is this paranoia or is this real? Is this legit? Is it not? Because something has happened where you guys have a wound here. There's some type of healing that needs to take place when it comes to possibly arguments behind your back, fights, something of that nature, or being attacked by people you guys are intimate with. So yeah, yes. With Mars ruling Aries and this being in the 9th house, this is what you guys are learning about during this time. And this is where the Hierophant energy is coming through. You guys are learning about this and trying to be more clear with your intent. It's, instead of being so hidden, is what I want to say. But you guys want to make sure first that that you can be seen before you become unhidden. Does that make sense? Yeah, you're visible in one sense, it's pretty loud. You're visible in one sense, but you're being visible in regards to your emotions. That's it. We're not seeing the detective work that you guys are doing. And there's some type of detective work here. And it would stem from what you guys value and something changing regarding this and committed relationships. So now you guys are driven to think about yourselves and not getting hurt. July 10th, Sun in Cancer in your 11th house is trining Saturn and Pisces in your 7th house. So to me, again, this is like, there's clear insight when it comes to something you guys want to invest in. So for some of you, this is definitely going to be some type of legitimate like business investment. There's going to be something about being able to see where something will go. You may not be able to get the results right then and there, but you can clearly, but not tangibly, just to be clear, you can see intuitively with the sun shining through Cancer energy that this is something worth investing into. Saturn being in retrograde, this is definitely an idea that you guys are revisiting and really like, what is the word I want to use? Like, satisfying it? No, that's terrible. I don't know what I just said. Satisfy? Am I talking about? Oh my God. Am I talking about metal? Oh wow, it's late. It's late. I'm tired. Anyway, or maybe it's, I don't know. Okay, so so again, with Saturn being in Pisces, there's something you guys can see clearly about making tangible, and whatever this is, it would affect you guys at home, okay? And your mind will be very much like thinking about this, whatever this is about. So for those of you that this is about romance, like this is, you guys will be thinking about how this will affect your home life. July 11th, Venus in Cancer in your 11th house is trining Neptune and Pisces in retrograde in your 7th house. So this is a very dreamy energy. It's that higher octave spiritual love where it's like all is good, all is well, there's forgiveness. I picture this to be like that type of energy where when we die, we forgive one another. And not that that actually always happens on the other side, although I'd love to believe it does. I don't believe it does. So in conclusion, my point is that with Venus in Cancer in your 11th house, trining Neptune and Pisces, because it's a blessing, something's being given to you. And with these water placements, I do believe this isn't like illusions. I believe this is something that you guys are clearly seeing that is a dream that can be a reality. That's how I'm going to phrase it for you guys. I do see this as either romance or an investment when it comes to some type of either investment with family or an investment for family or investment in property, and it would be something not close to your own home. And I was gonna say with Neptune and Pisces, with the retrograde, actually never mind, I don't want to say that. So anyway, so yeah, I think it's a very good transit. I think it's a very real transit, and it's not like la la land. July 11th, Venus enters Leo. So Venus is leaving Cancer in the 11th house and is entering the 12th house. So yeah, there's something secretive going on. There's something hidden going on when it comes to what are you guys doing in private? What are you guys seeing? Because there's some type of clear insight, but there's something going on in your mind when it comes to relationships. I think for some of you guys, it's definitely going to be talking about investing, possibly spending money on the internet and losing money because you guys are spending money, if that makes sense. I just think about when these things enter the 12th house, like as a transit, something is temporarily like being found, but also getting lost. Pisces energy, which traditionally belongs in the 12th house, is very easy to get lost when it comes to its own life, its own energy. And obviously apply common sense. It depends what's going on in their natal chart. Every Pisces could look different, right? I mean, they do. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. My point is, when I see things in the 12th house, things tend to get lost, literally, or things go missing. So for those of you that were in a relationship, you were in a relationship with someone that you thought you were seeing clearly. Now with Neptune being in retrograde, it's like, no. Now you are seeing them clearly. So I think for some of you guys will be like investing in yourselves. Like this can be looked at as self-love, affirmations of self-love, like literally talking words of, you know, positivity to yourself, to love yourself, to build confidence. I'm definitely seeing that. A lot of like work being done on your mind in order to feel better. And then for some of you that are like revisiting somebody of commitment, or somebody you were once talking to and now you're talking to again, this would make sense to me because of the retrograde. It's like maybe you weren't seeing them clearly before, but now you're seeing them more clearly now. So are you expressing this? It doesn't look like it. I think you guys are trying to strategize is what I'm getting for some of you. But again, there's like some type of pain, some type of wound that you guys don't want to experience again. So therefore you are trying to, like, I almost want to say like premeditate, like a plan. Something's going on here, or this could be, again, transformation of the mind so you can heal yourselves. Really trying to understand why you guys love the way you do. Why do you attract the partners you do? It can also just make you feel extremely loving during this time. I think more so for yourselves, to be honest. And there's kind of like a calling for that in order to get you guys where you want to go. This is how I'm seeing it anyway. Let's see. Venus in Leo on July 12th in your 12th house is in opposition to Pluto and Aquarius in your 6th house. So there's power dynamics at play. There is, you know, trying to control somebody or people to get them to, you know, abide by them, something like that. This could have to do with work for some of you guys, like people trying to excuse me. Actually, there could be some type of like hidden affairs going on during this time for some of you guys. And somehow this may connect to your work is what I'm getting. Pluto rules Scorpio in the 3rd house, and Uranus rules Aquarius in your 6th house. So I'm getting the 3rd and the 9th house. Yeah, I feel like in order to like feel powerful or to have the upper hand, you guys are learning about something. I'm getting the 3rd and the 9th house, like learning how to like strategize to communicate. And then with Uranus and Mars in the 9th house, this is actually like either getting some type of insight, or acting on it because of Mars. There's something going on here. Venus rules Libra and Taurus. So for some of you guys are definitely traveling, spending money. Libra, 2nd house, South Node. So it's like money is going bye-bye when you put this money into some type of traveling. You may be traveling with friends. You may be traveling for work. There may be some type of disruption with this, either because of finances or just maybe arguments. Let's let's see. July 15th, Mars in Taurus in your 9th house is conjunct Uranus in Taurus in the 9th house. So these two will be talking to each other. I personally don't like these two planets talking in any kind of way. It's just my personal opinion. They're both very independent energies, very freedom oriented, but also accident prone. There's a lot of fast movement. And it's in your 9th house, which is talking about traveling. So I would say, you know, make sure on this type of day to be more cautious when it comes to traveling. Also, don't take things personal on this day, because people are going to be acting the fuck up. And just realize, you know, it's really nothing personal. It's just something's going on in the stars, you know, the cosmos. But yeah, I feel like this would be affecting you guys internally, because somehow it's going to affect either your everyday regimen or work. Yeah, I'm getting traveling for work, or it's going to affect you guys in the sense that for those of you who have something hidden going on, whether it's a hidden relationship that maybe you guys just aren't ready to make public yet. So it's not maybe it's not like a secretive relationship, but maybe it's just something you're not ready to make public. Sun in Cancer in the 11th house is sextiling Uranus in Taurus in your 9th house. So when the Sun and Uranus are talking to each other, these are both very loud energies. So I think you guys will be able to, with free will, I feel like have either... I feel like have fun with your group of people by either traveling somewhere and learning about something that is not that's something you normally wouldn't learn about. So it could be like learning something about your own home, like where you guys grew up. Maybe it's the town, maybe it's the state, and then you're learning potentially something different about something you always thought you knew about. I don't know if that makes sense. But since it's a sextile, you don't really have to, it's with free will. So, I mean, if this is like a class or a course, it's like you don't really have to pay attention to whoever's talking. Or you may get a sudden download out of nowhere, like an intuitive hit. And you may be able to see something very clearly when it comes to your group of friends, or something relating to home or your emotions. And you can either do something about this, like intuition, or you can just ignore it. It's really up to you guys. But I feel like it would be more internal, like getting divine information about yourself, being able to clearly see something about your own emotional fulfillment. July 20th, Mars in Taurus in your 9th house is sextiling Neptune in Pisces in your 7th house. So to me, this is encouragement. Me and my friend have a very similar synastry, where I think I'm Neptune and she's Mars, and they're conjunct. And how this manifests is I feel extremely motivated to work on or do things that I know I'm supposed to do when it comes to making my dreams come true. And I don't know, it's just how this, I swear, I mean, yeah, that Mars and Neptune, it's a conjunction for me and her, but for July, it's going to be a sextile. So this means that you guys will have the energy, the willpower, and the drive to work towards something. And it's something that you guys want, okay? So, and it connects to the 7th house. So this talks about committed relationships, committed partnerships. And Pisces traditionally belongs to that 12th house. And what do you guys have going on there? Mercury and Venus. So your thoughts are already on love or something worth investing into. And this may be a business partner, a business collaboration, something like that. But you will feel driven to do something when it comes to the house of commitment. July 20th, Mars enters Gemini. So Mars is leaving Taurus in your 9th house and is entering your 10th house in Gemini. So Mars always gets a bad rap, always in astrology. Mars is the ruler of Aries. It's not just the god of war. It's not just arguments. It's not just competition. It's also courage, bravery, having the will to do something, confident, how you move around in the world, gusto, and so on and so forth. It could also be looked at as the child. And then Gemini is ruled by Mercury. This is talking about, like the elementary school you guys went to growing up, your friends from the town you guys grew up in, your siblings, your aunts, your uncles, people close to you, okay? Think of third house stuff. So when Mars is here, this is talking about either, yes, arguments, disruptions, like not disruptions, I shouldn't say that, but just arguments, possibly competition with those you are close to. So therefore it would be a disappointment, right? Or it could be something positive. You guys are literally feeling driven to accomplish something in the place of your legacy, how you guys appear, what it is you guys want to do for a living when it comes to your career. You see how that plays out? So Mars rules Aries, and this is your 8th house. This is your internal world. This can also be looked at as psychology, your mind. What are you guys trying to do at this time? So during this transit, you're going to feel something regarding wanting to transform your 10th house so you can internally feel better because you have Chiron here. You're going to feel driven to work on this wound. And in order to work on that wound, you have to do better. You have to be better. That's Aries energy. And this is where the mix-up is with Aries energy that most people don't get. It's not that it's competitive with other people. Yes, it is to some degree, but it's more so competitive with itself. And then it acts like a child outward. So it just comes off extremely competitive and like we were, trying to compete with other people, when really it's like, I think Aries energy always thinks it's the best no matter what. I think that's also why it's considered a sore loser at times, because we don't think we've lost anything. We think we've learned something if we technically lost. So Mars being in your 10th house is definitely talking about trying to win at how you guys appear. It's like you guys want to come up with some type of strategy and just feel good about yourselves, because I think you guys are feeling confident at this time when it comes to 10th house things with Jupiter in Gemini. What else can you expect with Mars and Gemini? If there are any fights or arguments, I would say this is the type of arguments where words will be very cutthroat, because that's what Gemini energy is very good at. It's not a diplomatic energy at all. That's where the duality comes in. It can act extremely diplomatic, but it would be to get what it wants. And that is... yeah, that's the truth. So yeah, July 21st, full moon in Capricorn. So there is a full moon in your 5th house. So something is being illuminated. I always look at full moons as something being partially illuminated, not fully. The reason for that is because if you look outside, you're never really seeing a full moon, right? You're seeing the reflection of it. So there's something to that. And I feel like anytime I take note of these full moons or these new moons, I don't always see something and I'm sure I don't doubt that something is manifesting or it happened a day before, a day after, but sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. My point is, I think you're partially seeing something. So when it comes to the full moon, what are you guys seeing? What is being illuminated? Something to do with romance, something to do with how you guys appear. You guys want to appear. I think some of you guys actually, because Mars is transiting in your 10th house during this full moon in Capricorn, and Capricorn traditionally rules the 10th house, right? But it's in Gemini for you guys. something will be illuminated in regards to childlike energy, because you guys have Jupiter and Mars there. These are two childlike energies. Yes, they can act like bosses and leaders. I'm not saying that, but something is happening when it comes to appearances and being able to see this, and it's coming off as either like I guess this could be somebody's story, like leading children or younger energy, like being a boss to this type of energy. Or you guys could be acting like this in some type of way. It could be good or bad. What else? Full moon. I think something could be illuminated when it comes to romance, because the fifth house rules romance. And traditionally Leo rules the fifth house, and you guys have Mercury and Venus there. So yeah, I think your thoughts will be on romance or money, and how you can make this a reality with Saturn and Neptune both being in retrograde in Pisces in your seventh house. Yeah, I'm going to say it's talking about some type of commitment, serious commitment, and it's either a business partnership or it is romance. July 21st, Venus in Leo in the 12th house is sextiling Jupiter in Gemini in your 10th house. So for some of you with effort and doing some type of work, you guys may be getting possibly a raise during this time, or some type of recognition, where you guys are just seen for something you guys are confident about, okay? Or you guys just may be seen for being beautiful. I'm also getting like a beautiful energy. That same day, July 21st, Mercury in Leo in your 12th house is squaring Uranus in Taurus in your 9th house. So to me, this is a karmic lesson. There's a block. There's a holdup when it comes to your thoughts and communication pattern. And it could happen randomly, out of nowhere. So I think you guys may be fighting with your group of people, or people you guys are trying to social network with, or maybe even hold on one second. Yeah, I want to say you guys could be fighting with people at work. Excuse me, that's another one. With Uranus and Taurus, I think of Taurus as the throat chakra. So something suddenly out of nowhere, like mouthing off, like somebody talking some kind of way. And it would be because like they thought, you know, like it would be because they think they know better, something like that. With Uranus and Taurus, yeah. And Mercury and Leo, most definitely. So something is being lost here. And that same day, July 21st, Sun in Cancer in the 11th house is trining Neptune in Pisces in the 7th house. So you guys are able to clearly see something when it comes to your daydreams, or, you know, illusions, or seeing clearly about somebody or a business partner you want to commit to. With that Sun in Cancer, like I've been saying, it's a very intuitive energy. So yeah. July 21st, that same day, Mars in Gemini in your 10th house will be trining Pluto in Aquarius in your 6th house. So there is some type of recognition when it comes to leadership abilities. These are two air signs with Gemini and Aquarius. So there is something very intellectual happening on this day for you guys. You may be communicating something publicly to a group of people at work. Regardless, it's a trine, it's a blessing, it's coming easy to you guys. So, and you know, it's funny because Pluto rules Scorpio, and you guys have Pallas Athena here, and now it's direct. So yeah, there's something going on where you guys are able to communicate and hold the room's attention, which is exactly Pluto energy. It's magnetic. And this is something you guys are striving for in some type of way, because you have the North Node in Aries, and Mars rules Aries and it rules Scorpio. So July 22nd, Sun enters Leo. So the Sun is leaving Cancer in your 11th house and it's entering Leo. What may you guys feel during this time? I would say some of you are going to feel spiritual. You're going to go within. You're going to be shining a light in a dark attic, and you're going to be seeing something about yourselves. You may not want to hang out with other people. You may want to be by yourselves at this time. Yeah, you may be more serious. You may be in this energy of getting your shit together, something like that. July 22nd, Sun in Leo in the 12th house, opposition of Pluto in Aquarius in the 6th house. So to me, again, power struggles, power dynamics. You know, you may see more of your shadow during this time, and it would be purposeful. It would be intentional in order to get you to see something that needs to transform for your higher good. Uranus, again, rules Aquarius, and this is in your 9th house. So there's divine knowledge here, divine insight, if you guys tap into this energy and use it to your advantage. Oppositions aren't easy, but they're possible. So oppositions come together. So you may see something you don't like about yourself, and it's up to you whether you want to like transform that and do better. But you'd have to like hold the space for it, you know, and with that you'd have like this insight to yourself. July 25th, Mercury enters Virgo. So Mercury is leaving your 12th house and is entering your 1st house. You guys will be more analytical and judgy towards yourselves, your body. You may be a little more finicky during this time, stressful, and really like your body would be feeling the anxiety and the stress that you're like mentally having. Your mind may be more so on work. You may be really driven to work during this time, especially with Mars, the ruler of Aries. This is in your 10th house. So it's almost like a Mars in Capricorn, except it's not. But it's taking on some type of effect in the sense that you have Mars in your 10th house. When Mars is in the 10th house, there is some type of exalted energy going on. But you have it in Gemini. So Mercury rules Gemini. So there is definitely something about the body and moving around and being chit-chatty at work. You may be more like prone to giving advice so people can do better in their lives, to make their lives better and work for them. My advice would be just to make sure that they want that. July 25th, Sun in Leo in the 12th house is sextiling Mars and Gemini in the 11th house. So this is an extremely confident energy because it's the Sun and it's Mars. So you're thinking about Leo and Aries energy base. Kylo. Okay, sorry. So yeah, so the sun in the 12th house is sextiling Mars and Gemini. So it's a sextile, so you guys have to put in the work. But you guys, for some of you, you may have difficulty because the sun is in the 12th house. But overall, I think you guys would feel very confident and feel driven to like hold people's attention when it comes to work. Like you would be providing, I feel like, some type of insight because of the sun being in Leo. Excuse me. Like you would be showing a certain side of yourself. You would be expressing something you don't normally express. It would be something private, and you're making this more visible now. And for this, it's like you would be more liked during this time because it makes you a more like approachable person for being more real, if that makes sense. Even if you are a real person, it's like people can't read energy properly sometimes, right? So this type of transit would help you guys, help people see you more clearly. July 26th, Chiron goes retrograde in Aries. So this is happening in your 8th house. I do think things would slow down for you guys, like in regards to either paranoia or like trying to do something in order to help yourselves, okay? Because that's what Aries energy can manifest into. So with Chiron, there's some type of pain around 8th house energy and Aries energy. So this is talking about there's some type of pain that you guys are revisiting when it comes to either things going on behind your back or things going on behind your back that with people that you're intimate with, there's like some type of fights or something like this, or something may be going on behind your back at the place of work. Like you may be self-sabotaging yourself by thinking like you have to act this way, you have to act, that way, and this and that, and healing is needed and transforming is needed and blah blah blah. Like there can be a lot of us do this when we're in the process of healing, but it's like it's a forever thing and you don't want to like just stay there. So there's something like that that's happening when it comes to your 10th house. You guys may want something like very badly when it comes to either how you appear to others. Like you may want to appear extremely confident, you may want to appear like a leader, you may want, and you may be all of these things, but there's some type of wound when it comes to your confidence and how you guys go after the things you guys claim you want. So I'm seeing like some type of background strategy to like appease this, if this makes sense, or like have people see you the way you want them to see you. But that's obviously not the universe's goal, right? The universe wants you to see energy for as it really is, and that includes your own. So there's some type of pain here when it comes to confidence, the willpower, courage, bravery, one of these things. And it's like with Jupiter being in Gemini, you're asked to look into this. And when you look into this in a well, like balanced way, a way like a holistic type of way that you actually deeply want to heal and do better for yourself, then it's like the universe will give this to you. Because when Jupiter's in your 10th house, oh man, shit. And I really feel like there's something here, either you guys are in touch with or you're not in touch with it yet, but it's like you guys want to do better at work in order to expand upon home. All right, guys. Anyway, so that's what I got for you. I hope this helps. I hope it resonates. And yeah, that's what I got.